He's really good with his pull-up game. He shot like 65% on runners and floaters. He's just got a terrific feel for scoring the basketball. But I don't think you're going to find a player in this draft that has made more difficult shots than Ace Bailey has made. And I think NBA players, when they were watching him play this last year, go, man, this dude can score in a variety of ways and makes NBA caliber shots. Had 39 in a game against Indiana. He had 38. Probably his best game was that 38-point game that he had. But, you know, his ability, he's good in catch and shoot. He shot 39% there. He can improve his handle and his finishing, but his talent level is really undeniable. A very good athlete. He's just got a lot of abilities. Now, I think he can improve his decision-making, his shot selection, his playmaking, and I think he can be a much better free throw shooter. But the talent is undeniable. After Harper and Flagg, this is the most talented player in the draft.
Taylor Rooks did an interview with Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey, and she asked Dylan Harper how to describe Ace Bailey's game, and he said, it's like playing a video game. The types of moves that he can make, it's like pressing a button on your controller. That's how effortlessly Ace Bailey scores.
Yeah, he's automatic.
Yeah. And now he's with Harbaugh every time.
Ace, you're stoic. On a night with questions and questions about your pre-draft process, how can you be so cool and confident in this moment?
I mean, I have a great circle that maintains the outside world while I just focus on the basketball part. So I just thank them every day.
You got props from KD, Giannis. Learn some moves from Giannis. Are you ready to go to Utah and maybe use those moves on Giannis?
Oh, for sure. I got some more stuff for him, too. Yeah, for sure.
Congratulations, baby.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
I love the confidence. I love the swagger here that we get to see from Ace Bailey. Now that he knows where he's headed in the NBA, his home will be the Utah Jazz. And just like that, the top 5 picks of the 2025 NBA draft are in. When we come back, the Washington Wizards are on the clock in a night that started with Dallas drafting Cooper Flagg.
It wasn't the late night shoot-arounds or the tournament trips. That's not what got me here. It was them. The love they showed me. It's hard to give it back and pass it on, you know? Because it's the assists you don't see on the highlight reels that make all the difference.
Damn, your score is higher than a giraffe on a pogo stick.
That's because I bank fee-free through Chime. Plus, I do credit for everyday purchases.
That's a big perk.
Hey, perk. Fee-free banking and early access to your pay is like being at Granny's house on a Sunday.
Everybody needs.
All right. Didn't know that's gonna go.
Because any car that doesn't offer the confidence that it will find you.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Short of amazing. One ordinary family.
All astronauts can go up into space and come back forever changed.
Will become fantastic.
Your planet is marked for death.
We will protect you. As a family.
Johnny, quit screwing around! I tell you how to drive the ship, don't tell me how to kill sexy aliens!
All the studios of Fantastic Four on trailer on right now.
They've waited a lifetime for this moment. Now it's time to celebrate.
Priscilla, and of course his younger siblings as well. Trey actually wore number 20 in college because his dad wore it during his collegiate playing career. And this is just an incredible, special moment for this family, a really heartfelt moment together. Trey's coach at Texas, Rocky Terry, you compared his work at the SEC and scoring as a freshman. But what are your thoughts, Jay, on how his style will translate to the next level?
Well, it translates really well because he's got an elite NBA skill. He can really shoot the ball. And I think he's the best overall shooter in the draft. Continental is the best catch-and-shoot guy. And it's not close with the percentages he shoots. But look at that suit. I didn't notice the... yeah, up top, he looks like a banker. Down low, he's like a guitarist for AC/DC.
Don't tell everyone that you're actually wearing a short suit right now, Jay.
but he's an outstanding shooter. And he shoots it equally well on catch-and-shoot situations and off the dribble. He's 41% catch-and-shoot, 39% off the dribble. He gets separation. He's just a gifted scorer that is a natural shooter. He gets it off quickly. You know, he's got a wingspan of 6'10". Quick release, and he's got beautiful form. And he really does a good job of moving without the ball. He can do it off the screens. He did it there in a pick-and-roll situation. But he's just natural as a scorer. I think he can improve his defense, but as you mentioned, Malika, he led the SEC in scoring at just about 20 points per game. The last two freshmen to do that were Cam Thomas and Brandon Miller. He had a 39-point game earlier this year. That was the most by a freshman in Division I. And he's 89 threes, also the most by a freshman in Division I. He has 15 games of 20 points or more. I think the main thing for him is to become a better defender and to get stronger, both of which he can do.
Yeah, and I had a lot of time. I got an opportunity to spend a lot of time with Trey Johnson. You know, one of my best friends was his assistant coach, Bangi Chappelle, and all around great kid. Nothing about, it's all about basketball with him. But when I look at Trey Johnson, I see a lot of Chris Middleton. The way that he's able to create off the dribble, get separation, the floaters in the lane, and like Jake just highlighted, the best shooter, overall shooter in this draft.
And quite the history here when you look at the highest drafted players out of Texas. He's joining some elite company, and now he's with our Maluach.
Trey, your offense, your scoring ability, second behind Kevin Durant for a freshman scoring in the last 15 years of Texas. That's the highlight. What gives you confidence that you'll be able to take that to the NBA?
Just knowing how hard I work, most definitely how consistent I am with it. And I'm gonna get a little bit working. I'm gonna keep staying in the gym and putting in those hours, and that's so long to translate, so I'm gonna do that same thing.
Richard, Trey said that he wore your number to honor you, to honor your legacy. Your legacy is headed to the NBA. How well do you think he has honored that?
I mean, he deserves it. This was my dream 20 years ago. 30 years ago, but I'd rather for him to be here than me anyway, so I'm just glad and honored to have a son that, you know, wanted to represent his father.
When you hear that from your dad, Trey, what goes through your mind?
He tried to learn his age right now, but it's most definitely correct though. Just he's been there the whole way, and it's like we both get drafted right now.
Outstanding, guys. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Not calling out Pops on national TV. Congratulations to the entire Johnson family here. I do want to bring in our draft expert, Jonathan Yoan, into the conversation because, Jonathan, I understand you have some news from Ace Bailey. What more can you tell us?
Malika, Ace Bailey did not work out for a single NBA team. He's the only U.S. prospect that declined to do so. This was not one of his preferred destinations, Utah. He was hoping to get to either Washington, New Orleans, or Brooklyn. The Utah Jazz selected Ace Bailey knowing that. This is a little of a stunner, but if you think about it, this is an outstanding place for Ace Bailey. They have a wide-open win situation. They have a huge need for a star in his role. They have an outstanding coaching staff. I think Ace Bailey's going to recover from this very quickly and realize that he landed in an outstanding situation with the Utah Jazz. It just shows you there's only so much an agent can control in this process. If an NBA team decides they're going to take Ace Bailey, that's exactly what happened. And this is the first move that Austin Ainge has made as a head decision maker in the NBA, and it's a big one.
Jonathan, thank you. I mean, considering the talent that Ace Bailey has, it's no surprise that Utah has a chance to draft him, and they did. Bobby, how do you evaluate the situation when you're hearing that, okay, maybe this wasn't a player's preferred destination, but he has an immense opportunity?
I give Utah a lot of credit here. Here's a player that didn't come into their lineup, and I think it shows you that we tend to over-evaluate the individual draft process here when they go out there. Utah needed to get a start. This was the best available player. It doesn't matter if he came in or not.
Bobby, thank you so much for that insight. Again, Ace Bailey headed to the Utah Jazz here. As we turn to the New Orleans Pelicans, who are now on the clock. This has been a little bit of a transitional year. We just saw them make a big trade a couple of days ago here. What's the face?
No, I would say that Ace Bailey embraced this.
Okay.
Utah has a hell of a fan base, especially when you go and turn things around and start winning. That fan base is really, really great. I hate playing in Utah when I was on the opposing side. So embrace it. You have some great people in the front office. You have a great coach, a young owner that's very, hands-on in the organization. You got Dwayne Wade walking in and out of them. Man, it's a real. Don't underestimate Utah, young fella.
I feel like Will Hardy. I spent some time with him doing sideline for the NBA. His understanding of the game is just really fun to talk to as a coach. The pick train is keeping on moving, though. The New Orleans Pelicans are on the clock. They have made their pick. Let's send it back to the podium. And once again, welcome in NBA Commissioner Adams.
With the 7th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the New Orleans Pelicans select Jeremiah Fears from the University of Oklahoma.
It's the word our draft expert, Yoan, used to describe Jeremiah Fears. I would say swaggy as well. His high school coach at Arizona Compass Prep said that Jeremiah, he was just born to be special, and he was born to have an NBA jersey. And now he has one with New Orleans. And of course, he shares his home with his older brother, who plays at Michigan State, his siblings, Jamari and Skyler, his dad and his mom, who he calls his support system here. His dad played overseas. He studies AM. He studies Trey Johnson. He studies Steph Curry. He continues to work on that three-point shooting. And he said, Andrea, that he's going to remember every single person that was drafted before him. He told on Mark Spears. And he's going to remember every single franchise that passed on him. And he is ready to give him that work.
He's confident, and his game is a lot like those two chains, ice cold. That's the way that he plays the game. He's an excellent ball handler with elite speed, who can shift gears and change directions at any time. He's fast, but he's also physical, and we have seen how valuable scoring point guards are in the NBA.
Yeah, he had 6 games of 25 or more in a game, and 5 of those came against top 25 teams. He led Oklahoma in scoring, assists, and steals. Great speed with the ball, an excellent handle, and dynamic in pick and roll situations. Very productive, uses his body well, a knack to get into the lane and get fouled. Can that translate to the NBA where he shoots as many free throws? He was just an inconsistent three-point shooter, only shot 28% from 3, made 38 of those on the season, but super talented and really speedy with the ball.
He also added 15 pounds, the good for kind of freshman 15, when he was at Oklahoma. He's the 7th top 10 pick from Oklahoma, the 2nd freshman, joining Trey Johnson, who was the 5th overall pick in 2018 to hail from Oklahoma. And now, Jeremiah Fears is standing by with our Monica McNutt. I cannot wait for this interview.
So Jeremiah, you see that graphic? I see you got your O chain on, your Oklahoma colors. You join a legacy of guys that have done special things to represent the Sooners. What does that mean to you?
Man, it means the world to me. Just being able to kind of go out here and show the world what Oklahoma basketball can bring and continuing to take steps in the right direction.
Obviously, you're just drafted in the NBA, but you also play baseball, you also play football. How do you think your experience playing multiple sports is going to help you?
I think it'll just help me overall in the long run. I think that it'll help me as well as far as IQ-wise and just continuing to be the person I am.
Well, Jeremiah, enjoy the night. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Look at his mom reacting here. Special. It's just so moving to see the work that all of these parents have put in, to see the work that all of these families have put in. And you know, this is something where every year we get to witness dreams being realized and lives changing in real time. It's really something. It's why I always say it's one of my favorite days of the year, is because of things like this, relationships like this, bonds like this. That's real pride.
Yeah, it's special, and you know, she has watched her son achieve so many things, and he has the ability to take over games. When you talk about 31 points, 12 of 12 from the free throw line against Missouri, 27 and 10 on the road against Mississippi State. Jake, you called the SEC tournament, did you not?
Yep.
Remember the game against Kentucky? They're battling back. I know they ended up losing that game, but he scored 10 points in the final minute and a half to get them back in that game and send it to overtime. His ability to get to the free throw line. What is the one thing that Shea Gilgeous-Alexander did time and time again on the road to the NBA championship?
Key free throw line.
Gets his opponents off the court completely because they're in foul trouble. That's what Jeremiah Fears had the opportunity, in addition to his scoring and his speed. He puts defenders in a tough spot when he gets to the free throw line extremely well.
And now it's the Brooklyn Nets that are on the clock. Jeremiah Fears, once again, headed here to the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, the Brooklyn Nets, they have a plethora of first-round picks here this evening. And Bobby Marks, he was sort of wondering whether or not we would see them make all of them. They're right under 26 and 56 this season, the first season under Jordi Fernandez. Cam Thomas, he was a bright spot, but it did miss 57 games with that hamstring injury. And they have an off-season of abundance, is what we're going to call it. They have the most cap space, $45 million here. I want to bring in Bobby Marks if we could. Bobby, what do you expect Brooklyn to do tonight with so many first-round picks as we take a look here inside the draft heading?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Brooklyn walks away with 5 first-round picks.
You said what's the score?
Team ever to do it. Remember, this is the
They at the eight count pick. I think it goes to the Brooklyn Nets.
Khaman Maluach from Duke, player that we talked about. They need rim protector there. Keep an eye on him there.
You know what they're saying? If we got those first-round picks, Jay, we are going to make those first-round picks. They got 5 of them. That gives you a lot of opportunity here.
It's not surprising to hear Bobby say they may keep them all.
Yeah.
Because you thought they're going to be one of the prime movers in this draft with so many draft assets.
We could still potentially see them move up that layer, but again, that is a little bit interesting part that they're saying that Bobby is hearing and they're planning to keep all of these picks.
Well, I mean, that just tells you how deep this draft is. If they're planning to keep all these picks, right, and the talent that they have in this draft. And I believe it's going to be like that for the next 2 to 3 drafts, right? There's a lot of talent that's coming up, but especially in this one, and they feel like, hey, we could draft, we could build the culture. As long as we have the correct guys, we just all say I'm pressed to do it.
No problem.
What makes you think the Brooklyn Nets can?
I think it's interesting too. Does Brooklyn go with a big here? Do they go with a big point guard here? They've got a couple of options when you talk about Casperis Yakuchis out of Illinois, Jagar Demon out of BYU, Khaman Maluach. If they go the big route from Duke, so do they go with someone on the inside or someone who can play on the outside? But I think either way they can get good size.
Okay, looking at your best available, they got 5 shots at it, but the first that you would be looking at is
Well, it depends on. Now you're starting to get into an area where need is. We don't just go best available all the time. I happen to think the best available player is Colin Murray-Boyles, but he may not fit what Brooklyn wants to do. And Andreas point, Khaman Maluach, the best big guy. Jagar Demon, the best playmaker. Essengue is really interesting as a wing defender.
let's see who the Brooklyn Nets select. And they distract. So,
With the 8th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the Brooklyn Nets select Jagar Demon from Moscow and Brigham Young University.
Jagar Demon is the first player born in Russia to be drafted since 2013. He grew up in Moscow. His dad, Vladimir, played professionally in Russia. And actually, I love this. He makes sure, Dad does, to send game feeds to all of Jagar's fans. And whose videos include commentary and include analysis that he does in real time. At 15, Jagar became the first Russian on Real Madrid's youth team. And Jay, his passing, that really speaks to his calling card here. 180 assists this season, a freshman record for anybody.
Yeah, incredible division. He was third in the Big 12 in assists. He was second in assist percentage. And you're talking about a guy who's got positional size. He's over 6'8". Another guy with really long arms, a 6'10" wingspan. But with that size and length, he is really big in pick and roll situations. But he's an excellent handler, an excellent passer, and he's daring out on the court. Really good in transition. Just like elite in passing. His pick and roll vision, outstanding. Got a great feel for the game. One thing he does not do yet is he's not a consistent shooter. Only shot 28% from three. But Malik, you mentioned set a BYU freshman assist record. Had multiple 10-assist games. He's played overseas. He knocked down 42 threes on the season. He does not hesitate to shoot the ball, but I would call it streaky at best. Just didn't hit a high percentage of them.
So the Nets, I think, hope Jagar helps his offense. It ranked 28th here this season. And now he joins a handful of players who are selected in the top 10 from BYU.
And guess what? Wings. Again, we 10 picks in. What did I tell you, Dre, before the draft? I said, I don't see no big man going top 10. I told you that, Jay. It's the most important position in the NBA right now. And what teams are seeing is they're following the footsteps from the Indiana Pacers in the Oklahoma City Thunder.
I want to know where Danny Ainge was on that list. Does that mean he's not a modern in the modern era?
What you mean?
Yeah,
that looks to be like you got.
The modern era. The headquarters loved it. Maybe some fans in Brooklyn just wanting to make sure. Does he say who's that? We just told you, sir.
He'll show you who he is.
He'll
show you exactly who he is.
They didn't like Christopher because of New York.
We just need to sit down and keep it cool.
Tell me you don't watch basketball without telling me you don't watch basketball.
Just keep it cool, up there.
But your favorite thing about Jagar Demon?
I mean, his confidence, his vision. He says he watches a lot of Cade Cunningham because of the size, the ability to find his teammates. But, you know, I think it's important, too. You talked about him being able to become a better shooter. He talked about that at the Combine, knowing that was something he wanted to prove. And he shot well at the Combine. So it's clearly something that he is putting the time in. But to me, the confidence, the fearlessness in finding his teammates, the vision and skill to do so, that stands out.
But if you're going to start somewhere, if you're the Brooklyn Nets, why not at the point guard position with a ball handler that's 6'8", right? If you're going to start somewhere, you're going to build the future, you want to build through the draft, this is not a bad starting point.
Again, their offense near the bottom of the league in the NBA, 28th last season, so looking to be able to build on that with that vision, that passing that Jay was talking about. Now we turn the page to the Toronto Raptors, who are on the clock. Let's check in on their season. Just remind you how we got here. The Toronto Raptors with the number 9 pick. They have a record of 30-52 this season, 11th in the Eastern Conference. They acquired Brandon Miller in a trade with the Pelicans. He missed every game after the trade with an ankle injury. RJ Barrett, a little bit more of a bright spot, 21 points a game, just over 21 points a game to lead this team. They missed the playoffs for the third straight season. They've lost 50 games in consecutive seasons for the first time since their first 3 seasons as a franchise here, folks. They're not that far removed from being a team that we expected to be consistently in the playoffs.
Now I feel like this is the moment when we're about to see a big one. This is the moment right here, because that's what they need, right? I don't know if it's Gary Queen, I don't know, but they need a big. I feel like Masai Ujiri knows that he's stacked at the wing position. He has that. We need somebody that's going to anchor that middle and be able to protect.
So the wings are good. The wings are taken care of. You're a wing fan.
We good.
All flats. The Raptors, though, their defense had a huge turnaround. They ranked top 5 over the last 3 months of the season, so a big man would be joining that elite ranking.
Yeah, and I mean, I think if you're looking for a defensive big man that's a presence in the lane at both ends of the floor, it's Khaman Maluach. But he would be the next best available big guy. A guy who can block shots, excellent offensive rebounder, really good block threat.
And a guy who has ties to NBA Africa, which of course the Raptors and Masai Ujiri are very familiar with.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Khaman Maluach, he makes impactful plays. He's a play finisher. So on the offensive end with his dunks, he's a constant lob threat. He rebounds on both ends, and on the defensive end, he protects the rim as a help defender, a one-on-one defender. He played a switching defense at Duke. when you talk about the best available big, especially defensively, will go to Khaman Maluach.
What do you think in terms of expectations for the Raptors this season? Obviously, looking at the numbers, Scotty Barnes, he kind of did it all for the Raptors this year. They're looking in an Eastern Conference that is wide open. I would imagine this is the time to try to kind of get back in the mix.
Absolutely, and they will. I believe, with a healthy Brandon Ingram, right, we still have R.J. Barrett. And I mean, they have
All right, y'all.
pieces, and I
Toronto
think
got they pick in.
Actually,
Brace yourselves.
So but he's a great guy.
You're a Toronto Raptor fan. The pick has been in.
I expect them to make some noise. There's no reason that they shouldn't be a top 6 seed in the Eastern Conference this season.
When you're looking at the best available, Jay, I know Kirk is pointing out their defense and potentially a big man that could come into that fold. But you were saying that your best available, it may not necessarily be a big right now.
No, I think the next one up is probably Colin Murray-Boyles on my list from South Carolina. Left-hander, really versatile defensively. I mean, completely underrated. I wouldn't call him a shooter, but really good in the lane, finishing around the basket, and just knows how to play. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Colin Murray-Boyles.
And where we talk about Khaman Maluach with his size.
Well, no, it's not my battery. I'm dealing with assholes who trying to report me, so I'm kind of showing the screen here and there, and then I'm switching to the green screen. But I just wanted to show enough in time for y'all to see the ninth pick. We at the ninth pick right now. Toronto Raptors. They just got their pick submitted.
Smaller things that stand out. He says he hangs his hat on how hard he plays and his unselfishness. It kind of makes me think of TJ McConnell, who says that playing hard is really a skill. All right, the Raptors.
Yeah, I do need to get that battery changed.
With the 9th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the Toronto Raptors select Colin Murray-Boyles from the University of South Carolina.
Colin Murray-Boyles is going to Toronto Raptors.
With his mom, Yvonne, his dad, Sean, his brother, James, who was a standout at UNC Pembroke and plays overseas now. And of course, I'm now with Chloe Kitts, his girlfriend, South Carolina star, forward and open right. And one thing I love this about this family.
All right, y'all. I'm showing y'all a little glimpse before somebody decide to come in this motherfucker try to report me again. But I will. I do got the audio and everything going from the TV, so hopefully y'all can hear what's happening. The Houston Rockets has the 10th pick. So I'll let y'all know as we get close for the 10th round pick. Not 10th round pick, but for the number 10 pick. So Toronto is number 9. Houston is number 10.
To have 40 blocks, over 40 blocks, and over 40 steals this season. It shoots about 67-70% at the rim. He's just over 30% on jump shots. That's an area where he needs to improve, but a versatile, long-arm defender. That's really the lead story with Colin Murray-Boyles. He's an outstanding defender with incredible awareness.
But Colin Murray-Boyles, he is going to the Toronto Raptors.
Really hard. And he's good in the post, good around the rim. We talked about his finishing.
Yeah, you're right. I don't understand why people be reporting so much, man. I mean, it's just social media.
But defensively, is where he sets himself apart. He can move his feet. We talked about him playing hard. He played on a team this season, South Carolina. They really struggled to win games in the Southeastern Conference. They were 2-16. He never took a play off. But to Andrea's point, he's a good passer, a good offensive player that scores around the basket. He just needs to be able to stretch that out. But because of his basketball IQ and his work ethic.
All right, y'all. In 4 minutes, the Houston Rockets will have their select. So as it get close to like 20 seconds, when they got their pick in, I give y'all a glimpse of who they looking to trying to get.
He's at least putting the work in to develop that side of his game. But he scored 11 points in the paint this season. That was second in the SEC. He's got soft touch, he's got good hands, and he connects his teammates on the offensive side.
He's an all-SEC second-team selection, and Chloe takes a reaction here. I mean, an impressive player in her own right, and now rocking the Raptors hat. Matches the dress, too. We love that coordination. So it looks as though the Houston Rockets are on the board at number 10, but we know that pick is on the move as part of the Phoenix Suns trade that landed.
All right, 3 minutes in, y'all. 3 minutes in.
Kirk, how do you think the Suns should approach this pick as they continue to build around Devin Booker? Because they've said they don't want to tear down the Suns.
Well, I mean, they got to get it right. They got to get it right. I mean, I think if I'm the Phoenix Suns again, I'm addressing the wings position. I'm loading up on them. Or it may be time for them to take a seat. Right? They need a seat. They've been searching for one to hold it down, to grow with Devin Booker. Obviously, we saw DeAndre Ayton. He didn't work out with Devin Booker. Big Nurkic, he didn't work out as well. They tried Plumlee. That didn't work. So now, you might have their guy that's going to be a star in his role and not want to do too much. A lot for it in the basket.
I'm there asking, man. If y'all haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If y'all really enjoying this this draft, y'all please subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's all I add. All right, y'all. We 2 minutes in. In 2 minutes, Houston Rockets gonna have their pick.
About some 3-and-D guys today that could really come off the board. Bryant being from Arizona and played at Arizona, so there's a connection there. Cedric Coward, so 3-and-D or a big man. I see that pick going that way for Phoenix.
Yeah, there's no 3-and-D guy in that vein. Rasheer Fleming from St. Joe's. I don't know that it'll go this high, but those are good calls. Those 3 guys are going to be very valuable in the first round.
This is Jay's best available as we sit now here at pick number 10.
All right, y'all. We 1 minute in. One minute away.
Why not? Let's talk about them a little bit. Kirk, you love this trade for the Houston Rockets. The team that was already number 2 in the Western Conference last year and looking to eclipse that, make it farther than they did in their percentages against the world.
I did, Malika, because they didn't have to give up a lot, right, to get Kevin Durant, in my opinion. They were still able to keep Shanghai, who I believe is going to go.
There's another baby Yes.
And then, you know, they kept Aiden Thompson, Torrey Easton, perimeter defense. I believe in the next 2 years, 2 to 3 years, Aiden Thompson might be the best.
All right, y'all. Houston Rockets got their pick in.
His ceiling is for me. And then you go in, they just retired Fred VanVleet, right? So you got the experience at the point guard. Big Steven Adams, you know he's going to come in and do for his offensive rebound and build a great screen setup. But then Kevin Durant saw so many problems. They needed a closer. They have Kevin Durant last year. They beat
All right, Houston Rockets got their pick in.
All right, they needed a three-point shooter. Kevin Durant provides that. They were one of the worst three-point shooting teams in the NBA last season. And now Kevin Durant goes to a situation where he knows and respects the coach and the coaching staff. Ime Udoka, that relationship. Royal Ivy, best friends with Kevin Durant. So they're going to hold Kevin Durant to a certain level and hold him accountable, and he's going to accept the challenge.
KD is going to crush their offensive rebounding numbers because he's going to make shots.
All right.
Well, you were able to see some
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Houston Rockets got their pick in.
we have here at ESPN. You were able to see the Phoenix Suns up close, and I think everyone knows that there's still a lot left for Kevin Durant to do with the Houston Rockets here. But it seems like these two teams are in very, very different places now.
Yeah, I mean, with Durant leaving, Phoenix is in a much different place right now. And they have to make a decision on Bradley Beal. That's really going to be where things shake out for them. But look, this is where you start in the draft. I mean, if you're gonna build a team and build it to where you want to get, I think you have to start with the draft. You know, that's where the best teams build is through the draft.
All right, y'all, we at the number 10, the number
I think I'm going to get
number 10 pick.
Like, Khaman Maluach, I think it's time for him. Essengue out of Georgia.
Oh, but they got a proposed trade, though.
I think going with someone in the center could be all right.
All right, y'all, here we go.
With the 10th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the Houston Rockets select Khaman Maluach.
Khaman Maluach. Khaman Maluach is going to Houston Rockets.
Khaman Maluach and his family.
I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all for looking for joining. And like I said, if you are new, tuning in to my channel. Like I said, I don't got to ask, man. Y'all subscribe to my YouTube channel. I appreciate it very much. Khaman Maluach, center out of Duke. He's going to the Houston Rockets. 10th pick.
Discovered by the NBA Academy Africa in 2021 and talk to anyone around Maluach about him, he's an even more remarkable person than he is a player, and that is safe.
All right, y'all. So the Portland Trail Blazers got the next pick, number 11.
When you look at what he's been able to do, certainly.
I'll keep y'all posted.
One story that keeps on sticking out is playing against Team USA, Kevin Durant and Joel Embiid, and seeing his mom, who he hasn't seen in years, walk down that aisle. And it wasn't those two players that intimidated him. It was that seeing his mom in the stands there. And truly one of the great stories of this year's draft.
He told our Monica McNutt yesterday, Bobby, that his parents are at home and he thinks that they'll stay up a little bit past their bedtime to watch their son have this moment with NBA Commissioner Adam Silver. Jake, you can see how much this means to him. I think when you consider the journey that it took for him to get here to the NBA, to be selected here, he was born, as we mentioned, in South Sudan. He was a little bit of a late bloomer, started playing basketball a little bit later in life before going to NBA Academy Africa, and he became this tremendous presence in the web.
All right, y'all. 4 minutes. Got 4 minutes till Portland Trail Blazers have their 11th pick.
Wingspan, blocked a ton of shots last season for Duke and was a real presence in the lane. Also an excellent offensive rebounder. His offensive rebound percentage was close to 17%. That was top 15 in Division I. And he shot 71% from the field. That was 4th in Division I. He shot that percentage in large measure because he's a great offensive rebounder. He's excellent as a pick and roll roller. You can just lob it up as high as you want. He had 81 dunks on the season. That was 2nd in Division I. 38 of those dunks were off of lobs. He's not a switch big. He played mostly in drop coverage, but he's a better perimeter shooter than his statistics indicated. It's something he has worked on. He looks very good on that at the combine and shooting drills. I think he's going to be able to stretch that out. And perhaps, maybe you don't trust it yet, but maybe reliable in time.
Jay, thank you. Come on, is with our Monica McNutt.
Come on, you told me yesterday that you are delusional about your dreams. Tell the truth. Did that delusion include being drafted a lottery pick in the NBA?
I mean, yeah, it included that, like me being delusional about my dreams, believing in myself that I'm going to make it to the NBA one day, and now I'm hitting the NBA draft. Just got drafted.
We also talked about the pride and all the folks that you are representing. What do you want to say about the people that have helped you get here? And in particular,
all right, y'all, with 2 minutes in,
I mean,
2 minutes in,
representing the whole
for the
continent.
Portland Trail Blazers to have their 11th pick.
Giving hopes to young kids, inspiring young kids of the next generation of African basketball.
Specifically to your parents, Marid and Yoan, what would you say to them as they're watching at whatever time it is where they're watching?
I mean, I want to thank them so much for raising me the way they raised me, for making me such a good young man, and raising me the right way and showing me the good values of life.
There's such a joy about you, Colin. Thank you for sharing that, and congratulations tonight.
Thank you so much.
All right, y'all, with 2 minutes in, away from the 11th pick, Portland Trail Blazers.
Khaman's family, considering everything this family has been through to get here. His siblings all sharing in this with him. Again, you heard him with Monica sending the message back to his parents watching at home. Just a tremendous, tremendous story.
I just said it too. No, seriously, I mean, but this is what it's all about. Like, do you realize how hard it is to make it to the NBA? Do you know what it feels like to get your name called when you have to compete, especially from where he came from? the obstacles, the hurdles, right? Like being able to be put on the platform to be seen, and then all of a sudden make the best of it. I seen him playing the very lively role, to be honest with you, for the Phoenix Suns. I know Jay, you said he played mostly drop coverage, but I see a young man that's going to accept the challenge of being able to switch out on the perimeter and slide those puppets.
And now we've seen Duke have multiple players here drafted in this first round. I'm hearing that Sean Charania has some breaking news for us. As I just mentioned, the Duke players.
All right, y'all. 40 seconds. In 40 seconds. Portland Trailblazers gonna have their pick in.
One deal just happened. The number 11 overall pick being traded from the Portland Trailblazers to the Memphis Grizzlies. So this pick coming up at 11 will be Memphis's pick. And then elsewhere, the Phoenix Suns draft Khaman Maluach.
All right, y'all. 20 seconds.
For center Mark Williams from the Charlotte Hornets. I'm told the Hornets are getting the number 29 pick in tonight's draft, as well as a 2029 first-round pick. So we know the Suns have had an issue with their front court side, but they have addressed it in a massive way tonight. Getting Khaman Maluach, they did not expect Maluach to drop to them at 10, but he did, and now they get him as well as Mark Williams.
All right, so at the deadline, the Hornets traded Mark Williams to the Lakers, but he failed the physical. So
all right, Trailblazers got their pick in.
Portland Trailblazers are on the clock, and their pick is in.
We have a trade to announce.
Oh, they trade. They got a trade.
Part of a deal to be finalized later. The Houston Rockets are trading to the Phoenix Suns the draft rights to Khaman Maluach, the 10th pick. And now, with the 11th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the Portland Trailblazers select Cedric Coward from Washington State University.
Cedric Coward, he's gone to Portland Trailblazers.
Select Colin Coward here. And this is a young man with the ultimate bet on yourself story. He paid $25,000 to attend Willamette University after academic scholarship and financial aid. Even the man who recruited him pointed out how rare it is for a future first-round pick to pay his own way to a Division III school here. But his journey didn't stop there. He played 2 years at Eastern Washington before transferring to Washington State. He only played 6 games with a shoulder injury, but he was the team's leading scorer, and his draft stock has been rising a lot here in recent months.
Cedric Coward was a virtual unknown 2 years ago. You know, he started out in Division III, went to Eastern Washington, transferred to Washington State, only played 6 games last year because of a shoulder injury, but in those 6 games, he had 3 20-point games. He also had a 30-point game against Northern Colorado. He was actually transferring to Duke when he went into the draft. Duke had 3 in the top 11. He got 4 in the top 11. He got there. It's really kind of remarkable. But he shot it very well at the combine. He's a 3-and-D guy. He's got a 7'2" wingspan, a big-time vertical. He's an outstanding athlete, but it's prototype 3-and-D with his length and athleticism. His potential is tantalizing. He's got speed. He's got great instincts, a sturdy frame, big hands, and he's a good passer. Good vision. He can improve his handle and his decisions, but he shot it really well in the combine. Shot it well off the dribble. I think he was 17 of 20 in that star drill that they have there. But his ability to shoot it from the perimeter and then defend multiple positions is why he's going number 11 in this draft. A guy with a lot of potential.
We should mention that our Sean Charania is reporting that the Portland Trailblazers
all right.
are trading him at the number
Chicago Bulls have the 12th pick.
Again, this pick, Cedric Coward is headed to the Memphis Grizzlies. And again, it's been quite the journey for him, Andre. You don't see this very often. A young man going from D3 to then Eastern Washington, Washington State, entering the portal, committing to Duke, and then deciding to remain in.
He is a strong athlete, intense competitor, and dangerous three-point shooter. 39% from beyond the arc across his career, and he's competitive.
Cedric headed here to the Memphis Grizzlies, and he's here with our monitoring staff.
What a long shot of a journey, to use your words, Cedric. But now you're here. What's the next step to continuing to prove yourself the way you have so far?
To keep getting better, to take it every day just the exact same as I have, keep embracing the process, embracing the journey, and giving my all to the game of basketball.
You seem so matter of fact. Will you stop, let your shoulders down, savor, and realize the improbability of what you've accomplished?
Yeah, you know, I kind of agree with you. No, the NBA is not. It's not what it used to be anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like you almost already know who's gonna win the championship, and you got star players playing on the same team, and like it's starting to get boring.
Monica, thank you so very much. Fun fact about Cedric Coward. I love that he loves to make cookies and paint custom sneakers as well. In a night that started with Cooper Flag being drafted #1 overall, Flag will join us here coming up at the NBA draft.
Well,
was nearly lost until pizza.
Not really missing too much, but you know.
Pizza Hut's hooking everyone up with more.
But you know,
choose from 4 Hut Lovers pizzas.
there's some good picks happening in the first round. So
Gatorade has the #1 proven electrolyte blend designed to hydrate better than water. Made to rehydrate, replenish, and refuel. So you can lose no sweat and find a place in history. Gatorade. Is it in you?
Visit your Audi dealer and lease the all-new 2025 Audi Q5 Quattro Premium for $699 per month.
Turn up your summer with Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Twisted Tea fans love the smooth, refreshing taste of Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Made with real brewed tea and 5% gift of alcohol. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Karen's about to retire. Here's what's going into her retirement.
There's us. She raised us on her own.
10 years as my roller derby wife.
Great. Preschool, she's open.
She's a mother.
I think we turned out all right.
She's a friend. Our mother is good to
all right, y'all. It may be on commercial right now, but Chicago Bulls got their pick in.
Retirement is the sum of your life's work. Now what? Get income for life and protect your life's work with Prudential.
Hey, it's your dry skin. I need to seal in moisture. CeraVe hydrates up to 10 layers deep and delivers 3 essential ceramides helping restore my barrier. Lock in 24-hour hydration with CeraVe facial moisturizing lotions.
And now introducing new CeraVe Anti-Dandruff Hair Care.
At Avis, we rent cars. Unlike anyone else rents cars. Because for 75 years, we've only had one plan. To make sure you keep yours.
You know what they say about summer. The days are longer, the nights are warmer, and the lemonades are perfectly balanced with sweetness, tartness, and a delicious cold foam on top.
What's your V-Move? I don't have V-Move, bro, but I do have Cash App.
Slippery, eat some.
Not the battery law. You know what? I'm gonna make sure I take care of it soon. You know what? I would personally drive to Walgreens to go get the battery. It's right down the street.
Wi-Fi is booming. Xfinity.
Taco Bell's 5, 7, and $9 one-screen Xboxes. Take a hit with the $5 classic box. Get built with the $7 super box. Or try the $9 discovery box featuring the crispy chicken.
Well, that's the closest store down the street other than well, I do have a Dollar General down the street, so I guess. Could be. Depends.
Welcome back to the 2025 NBA Draft presented by State Farm. The Chicago Bulls are on the clock with the number 12 pick here, and the pick is in. It's time to give you back to the podium here at Barclays Center with Commissioner Adam Sorber.
With the 12th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the Chicago Bulls select Noah Essengue from Solingen, France, and the Club in Germany.
Noah Essengue, one of the risers in this draft. Noah began playing basketball at 12, which was just 6 years ago. He's the second youngest player in this draft, and he played the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, I agree. I think they did
That's
need.
why that fan looked a little bit confused, but he grew up in France, and he made a huge leap productivity-wise, year 1 to year 2 in Germany, and says that he watches a lot of Kevin Durant, he watches a lot of Brandon Ingram, and Kawhi Leonard as well. Players that can dribble, that can shoot, that can pass and defend, the whole package here. Jonathan, how did you see him raise his game? I mentioned that leap he made from year 1 to year 2 as he has his moment here with NBA Commissioner Adam Silver.
Malika, Noah Essengue is a ball of clay at 18 years old, waiting to be molded into a Swiss Army knife, to and forward in the Pascal Siakam mold. He guards point guards at over 6'11" in shoes. He draws fouls in bunches with his fluidity and mobility. He's a smart passer. He wreaks havoc defensively with a 9'2" standing reach. He made huge progress, as you mentioned, as the year moved on, playing high-level competition in Germany.
Don't have to. There's only so many roles you can play.
He will not turn 19 years old until December 18th. Now his shooting is big frame. The 2 things he's gonna have to work on, but he's been super productive everywhere he's been. And as the type of instincts you can't teach at his size and length. The Bulls will be giving this pick on full, by the way.
Okay, so Noah Essengue headed here to the Chicago Bulls, who are keeping their pick, but that may not be the same for the Atlanta Hawks. So let's bring in our senior insider, Shams Charania. Shams, what can you tell us about the 13th overall pick?
The 13th overall pick is being traded from Atlanta to New Orleans, and New Orleans is setting the number 23 overall pick and a 2026 unprotected first-round pick that's going to be the most favorable out of New Orleans and Milwaukee. So essentially 2 first-round picks for New Orleans to move up. And at the number 13th pick, the New Orleans have had significant interest, doing a lot of research on Derek Queen.
Shams, thank you so very
All right,
much.
we're at the 13th pick.
Is picking 13.
The Atlanta Hawks got the 13th pick.
Jeremiah Fears. They traded for Jordan Poole. So Kirk, their backcourt is starting to take shape here as they wait for DeJounte Murray to return. What else do the Pelicans need?
I think they're doing a whole rebuild, right? It all starts with Zion Williamson, but you love, they brought in Joe Dumars, you brought in.
Oh dang, the Atlanta Hawks already got their pick in. They ain't even used the whole 4 minutes yet. So they must already knew who they wanted.
And they just moved CJ McCollum, so he's going to come right on in and get some quality minutes. So again, it's all about establishing coaching. Right, it's all about getting right. And I love
you know what? There is a proposed trade for what it looks like.
Bill Duff, you don't play no games. 42 years in this, he's going to get him right and just going to keep going.
I think you're right. The Pelicans here, it all really starts and ends with Zion Williamson and what they're able to do. All right, we need to get it over to the podium. We have a special moment with the association.
75 years ago, the first black player was selected with the 13th pick in the NBA draft. They marked the first season.
Yeah, I think they did.
To honor this anniversary, joining Commissioner Silver are family members of those NBA pioneers, along with Hall of Famer and all-time NBA great Oscar Robertson, who is also the first black president of the National Basketball Players Association, and Andre Iguodala, a 4-time NBA champion and the current executive director of the Players Association.
Chuck Cooper, Earl Lloyd, Nat Sweetwater Clifton, 3 NBA pioneers, the league's first black players.
I don't know, man. Kind of hard to say right now.
As we continue to welcome the next generation of players.
I think Mavericks got the best pick
we
though.
also celebrate the accomplishments of the legends who came before them. Chuck, Kevin, Shatan, your fathers hold a special place in the creation of the modern NBA. They were courageous. They showed resolve. and they represent a through line that continues today, the power of sports to bring people together. We are honored to recognize their lasting contributions to the game. Thank you.
75 years ago, celebrating the first black players in the NBA. And this is a league that really has been built, I think, on inclusivity, on the backstory of black players
there you
who
go.
have made this league what it is today. So it was a nice moment from the NBA there to make sure to recognize the forefathers.
I'm trying to see what's going on with this Atlanta Hawks 13th pick.
Their ability to be here on this stage, to be their authentic selves and have this moment, I mean, a really special moment from the league.
And to come up and chat with us as well, Jeff.
And great to see the great Oscar Robertson up there. He spent some time with Cooper Flag.
Yeah, they doing a lot of stalling with this trade right now.
Would make right now if you were playing one of the greatest players to ever walk the planet.
And pretty incredible to see that he spent some time with Cooper Flag as well. All right, the pick is in. It's time to
All right,
go
hold
back.
on, here you go.
With the 13th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the Atlanta Hawks select Derek Queen from the University of Maryland.
Atlanta Hawks got Derek Queen. So picking a lot of big men.
And right there, Derek told me that sharing this moment with his mom and doing something great for her means absolutely everything to him. His father passed away when he was a child, and Derek says that his mom made so many sacrifices to be able to get to this point. Of course, he was a part of that Montgomery 4 team that went 33-0 before staying close to home. He's from Baltimore for college at Maryland, and his head coach, Kevin Willard, says he's like having a 6'9" ball handler on the floor. Maybe Perk. That's why his teammates call him Baby Jokic.
Oh, he can play. He can play.
Look, you just called it.
I see it, right? He's not your today's big, what everybody looking for, meaning being athletic and being a live threat in the basket. He has a high motor. He's relentless when it comes down to rebounding, and he has that soft, feathery touch around the basket. That nice roll to
Baby
jump
Jokic is the nickname you usually use for Alfred, and you're good with two, yeah? Baby Jokic, okay. I think of the highlight today of the season, maybe, the game-winning buzzer beater against Colorado State. A running floater at 6'9".
Yeah, he's length and skill is really the headline with Derek Queen. He's got guard skill and terrific post instincts, but he's a mismatch. He's got great hands, great feet. His footwork is excellent, and really a high basketball IQ. A really good touch around the basket. He can post, he can operate in a short roll, and to Perk's point, an excellent rebounder and a fantastic offensive rebounder. He had 15 double-doubles. That was the most in the Big Ten since Jared Sullinger of Ohio State. That's 500 points, over 500, and over 300 rebounds. The most since Sullinger, and then Greg Oden.
All right, San Antonio has the 14th pick.
His skill level as a big guy is really impressive.
His face-up game, his footwork, the body control. Perk, you mentioned the touch. 200 Academy drafted already tonight. You know, he was doing an interview, Derek Queen, with Gavoni, and I had to write these down because Gavoni asked him who he watches. This is Derek Queen. He named so many different players for specific reasons. He said AD for how he gets to his spots, Melo for the footwork, Shea for how he draws fouls, Jokic for playmaking, and Embiid for using his force. All of those players, that's who he watches to create his game.
Now, Derek Queen is with Armand. Don't make that.
Derek, standing with your mom, Lisa. Okay, we gotta go through your basketball last 3 months or so. The game winner, or in the NCAA tournament, or tonight. I need you to rank both of them.
Definitely tonight. Definitely, because I might hit another game when you never know, but this is a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
All right, look like San Antonio already got their pick in.
In terms of the opportunities that he continues to give himself through the game of basketball.
The Mavericks had the #1 pick. I forgot who the guy was. If someone can relay that information.
As you head into your NBA
Yeah,
career,
Harper.
in
Yep,
your
yep,
feature,
yep.
you talked about all your confidence. What are you bringing to the organization that you're doing?
Winner. I feel like I proved that everywhere I went. And then like a person that's ready to compete and just bring whatever coach needs.
You guys, Derek, Lisa, thank you so much. Enjoy tonight.
Who fags them?
Congratulations to Derek Queen. And meanwhile, the San Antonio Spurs pick is already in. Let's send it back to the podium. We were just told that the commissioner just needs a little bit more time. But I'm seeing the signage that says the pick is in. So San Antonio picking again here. And now the commissioner is truly ready. Let's try one more time. Sending it back to the podium and NBA Commissioner Adam Silver.
With the 14th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the San Antonio Spurs select Carter Bryant from the University of Arizona.
I think this quote from Arizona head coach Tommy Lloyd sums up Carter Bryant pretty well. He says, quote, he checks two boxes that are really hard to check. He's an elite talent, and he has elite character. He comes from a basketball family. His father played college ball at Long Beach State. His grandfather is a member of the Deaf USA Basketball Hall of Fame. So his mom is a sign language interpreter, and Carter is fluent in American Sign. And on the court, Jay, he seems like the prototype for what everyone I think is looking for a switchable defender, sort of the perfect basketball build and an even better person. It sounds like he has a lot of it, literally.
Yeah, another 3-and-D guy that we talked about a little bit earlier. His mom played volleyball at Arizona. He comes from an athletic family. He only averaged about 6 points and 4 rebounds a game, but he made 39 threes on the year. He shot 37% from free. And he's a versatile defender. He's got size, he's got length, and he's got excellent athleticism. So as a wing, he's got a tremendous amount of potential as a switchable defender, as you say, and he can hit a standstill three-point shot. So he can guard 1 through 4. He was second on the Arizona team in block shots. His assignment, when he was the primary defender, he held his assignment to 37% from the field. He had over 25 blocks and over 25 steals. He was only one of 9 freshmen in the country to accomplish that. And almost half his points came off of three-point field goals. So he did spread the floor, but really where he sets himself apart is as a defender. His versatility.
All right, y'all. Oklahoma City Thunder has the 15th pick.
Play a role this last year at Arizona. He wasn't relied upon to be a primary scorer. He just busted his tail defending, getting to the glass. He wasn't expected to score, but when he had an open shot, he hit it.
He played limited minutes, but before February, he had 15 games.
Oklahoma City Thunder got the 15th pick. It's 4 minutes in.
With less than 20 minutes. He's a high-flying athlete, 39.5-inch max vertical, and a great motor. And like you said, a consistent three-point shooter.
And he was top 10 in just about every category.
And he's what the Spurs need. A 3-and-D guy reminds me a lot of OG Anunoby.
Yeah.
Now the defending champs, they're on the clock. The Oklahoma City Thunder at number 15. That'll complete the lottery here, the 2025 lottery. But we have seen plenty of talent come out of the first round, even outside of the lottery. You think of Tyrese Maxey, Pascal Siakam, who we just saw in the NBA Finals, Rudy Gobert was the 27th pick, DeJounte Murray, of course, Jimmy Butler, Desmond Bane, our very own Kendrick Perkins, and Jeff to come in the first round outside of the top 15. When you're looking at the best available...
Yeah, 3 minutes in. 3 minutes in till OKC have their 15th pick.
Crazy here, but there is some value here. Essengue, long, athletic, excellent rebounder. Thomas Sorber from Georgetown, a rim protector, a guy who can really control the lane. Jake Richardson, a lefty, he's small, but he can.
Nah, I don't think nobody got Ace Bailey yet.
Well, that's Fleming, who we talked about. another 3-and-D guy.
And no worries, whoever drafts Casperis Yakuchis, he is known as KJ. So the fan base
What's
is
his name again?
You can call him KJ.
Yeah, stay away from that.
It's a 2025 draft. We'll be right back.
All right, y'all, we're at commercial break, but 2 minutes in till OKC have their 15th pick.
Centurion Lounge and access to incredible experiences worldwide. So being a fan for life turns into the trip of a lifetime. That's the powerful backing of American Express.
Love was nearly lost until Pizza Hut showed up.
Go get her. Hi, Peter.
Looks like a new understatement. Pizza Hut's hooking everyone up with more of what they love. Choose from 4 Hut Lovers pizzas starting at $12.99 each. Order on the app.
When it comes to your wireless plan, don't settle for less. Get more with a free 5G phone and real unlimited data from Straight Talk. More ways to connect. I love you more. More reasons to share. And when you spend less with Straight Talk, you can get more moments to yourself by getting something for them. Switch to Straight Talk and get a free 5G phone on us, on America's most reliable 5G network. Find us at Walmart and StraightTalk.com.
You've always been ahead of the game. Excellence is your default, and Lexus knows that feeling is unmatched. Their standard isn't for the average, it's for those who set the bar and elevate it. So as you redefine what's possible, Lexus refines what you deserve. Because a car that doesn't make you feel something is a car that stops short of amazing.
Don't worry.
All right, y'all. OKC got their pick in. OKC got the number 15 pick. But right now it's still on commercial break.
Pro enamel, clinical enamel strength, can help us to keep our enamel for a lifetime. It's backed by science. It is clinically proven to strengthen our teeth. I would recommend this toothpaste to everybody. It's really an amazing product.
To secure victory, drivers in F1 the movie need total focus. They also need to eat. KFC fill-ups are back. Enjoy 4 ways to fill up your next $7 each. And see F1 the movie in theaters June 27th, rated PG-13.
If you're a fan, and tonight is special night in NBA basketball. If you're a fan, what you'll see in the next minutes, hours, and days to follow may convince you you've gone to sports heaven. Beyond that dream horizon is a limitless world of sports. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. With ESPN. And right now, you're standing on the edge of tomorrow.
My gosh. So it was just on Tuesday that the Oklahoma City Thunder were celebrating their first championship in franchise history. We gotta work on the footage though. It was a party and the footage is still great.
Hey, look, everybody back off the hate on my OKC Thunder. It's their first time, okay? This is not the last one either.
Well, they're going to have pop champagne. They are the NBA champions, but they're also picking here at number 15. The pick is it.
With the 15th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the Oklahoma City Thunder select Thomas Sorber from Georgetown University.
This is incredible for Thomas, his mom, and his sister. This family has a really moving story. His mother, Tanae, escaped the Liberian Civil War, came to the United States, and Thomas says that after his father passed away, his mom stepped into the role here of both parents. His dad was an accomplished soccer player, and Thomas attributes his coordination to dad. And really, Jay, he says that scouts note his smooth footwork. All of that comes from dad. And you can see him representing for his community there.
Well, he's a presence in the lane. 6'9", 6'10", with a 7'6" wingspan. He's got a good skill level, and Thomas Sorber has a motor, great hands, and can control the paint. He's a lob threat. He's a good passer, and he catches everything. But a very high-level post defender, very good rebounder. He was the second freshman in Division I rebounding behind Derek Queen of Maryland. And he was the first Big East freshman with over 2 blocks per game and over 50% from the field in the last 25 years. And to that point, like guys that have done that recently were guys like Chet Holmgren and Evan Mobley, averaged over 2 blocks and over 1.5 steals. And he's the first rounder from Georgetown since Otto Porter Jr.
I gotta tell you, Jay, this quote, when I heard it, it gives me chills. He told his agent, I'm gonna make sure that everyone knows my dad's last name. And now, Andrea, he's going to the NBA champs.
Yeah, he absolutely is. And he fits right in, especially because of his defense. But he's versatile. He's got crafty finishes at the rim. To me, his defense is what really stands out because he defends with strength inside the paint, mobility on the perimeter, and his wingspan impacts the game from everywhere. I mean, this is a player, when you think about OKC, fits right in.
He did suffer a season-ending foot injury, though, Jeff.
He did, but with his shot blocking ability, his active hands, he gets blocks and steals.
All right, my hometown, y'all. I'm from Memphis. Memphis Grizzlies got the 16th pick.
Holy cow! They can defend like crazy now.
Okay, he's going with.
Okay, to the champs.
Listen to this.
Memphis Grizzlies got the 16th pick, 4 minutes in.
Versus off the court, the highest of any D1 player this season. That's the defensive impact that he has on the floor.
I am from the M Town, y'all. I am from Memphis team. I do love my Grizzlies, but I must say that we do got some work. We got work to do though.
It really is. We've said it time and time again what it's all about. He is currently with our Monica McNutt. We will share that with you a little bit later. But right now, we are joined by the newest member of the Dallas Mavericks, Cooper Flagg. Cooper, we saw the incredible draft parties that are happening across Newport, Maine. We actually got to meet some of the folks in Newport that joined the show. Yes, they were so excited because they felt like you were representing them and you weren't just getting drafted, they were getting drafted with you. How many texts you got or something last night? Right now,
I've gotten a ton. I gave my mom my phones as soon as it started. I haven't even seen them, so just going through this process is incredible. I know I have so much support from back home.
You absolutely do. Yeah, Cooper, and what has been the...
All right, y'all. Memphis Grizzlies got their pick in, but like it's a trade proposed.
Hear my name get called. Sharing that moment with my mom, my dad, and my 2 brothers. That's the moment I'm going to remember for the rest of my life.
How about seeing your teammates drafted? How does that make you feel?
That compares to...
It look like the Memphis Grizzlies have a trade proposal with the Blazers.
I know how much work they put in. I know how good they are, how good the people they are as well. So it's incredible to see that.
You went down to Dallas for your visit. What was that conversation like?
I mean, it was great. It was a great workout down there to get in everybody. But I think, talking to Coach Kidd, I think he just has a lot of confidence in me. To just come in and be an impact player. He's going to, let me have the ball a little bit, I think, and just try and rock out and do what I can do.
Hey, cool. Tell them up here who gave you a speech at your McDonald's All-American game. Tell them, keep it real, huh?
You had me ready.
He did a pretty good speech. He can fire you up.
Everybody in Maine is claiming Cooper Flagg.
A non-memorable speech.
Well, we know, Cooper, that it wasn't just Perk that gave you maybe a little bit of a hype-up speech. We saw a video of you with LeBron James a while back, and he told you to make sure to stay in the moment, to be able to sort of soak everything in from this night. It's a little bit difficult to do. Do you think you were able to accomplish
Looks
that?
like the Grizzlies proposed a trade from the Portland Trail Blazers.
It's been a blur. So trying my best. I don't know, how I'm able to appreciate it, but it definitely feels so surreal.
We've got your back here because we've had the mics the entire night, so we can just take a look back at some of those emotions in real time. Take a listen.
Oh, man.
What's taking so long?
I'm so proud of you. I love you so much, baby.
Thank you. Thank you.
Making sure you knew to keep the commissioner on time.
Yes, I do. I had to watch on. I had to keep checking out.
Let's see that
started
watch.
a little late.
Let's see that watch.
We started a little late, to be honest.
Wow. Blinded by that.
You're the #1 high school player coming out. That comes with pressure.
All right, y'all. I don't know what's taking so long, man.
And now the #1 overall
For
pick
goodness
in the draft.
sake.
How do you process pressure as an athlete?
I think everybody deals with it differently. I think my way that I deal with pressure and I deal with expectations is just using the people around me. Using my parents, using my brothers, using my friends from back home who have been with me every step of the way. And that's my support system. That's how I deal with things like that. So, just trying to breathe and deal with things like that. It's definitely not easy, but it's something you got to deal with.
Cooper, you handled it beautifully all season long, and you impact the game in so many different ways. You can score, you can rebound, you can pass. What's your favorite part of the game?
I guess they still.
My favorite part of the game is doing everything.
I guess they still negotiating the trade.
Block shots.
They taking for. I ain't taking forever.
Play offense. Just being on both sides of the ball and impacting winning at a high level.
And now we get to see you at Summer League, Cooper. I'm guessing it's going to be your teammates at Duke. Is there anyone who circled for that first game?
100%. I think Khaman, and then even some guys, Derek, Queen, who I played with in high school, Liam McNeely, those guys. I'll be looking forward to playing against them.
Playing against your college teammates, I have a feeling that the NBA may say, you know what, Dallas, Lakers, that may be a natural first game we can see in Summer League. We look forward to seeing you there. Enjoy the rest of this night. Soak it all in, Cooper. We appreciate the time.
Thank you guys very much. Good?
Thank you so much, Cooper. He had to hit the glam cam before he came up to set here to show off that watch one more time. And there was an entire city and state behind Cooper. This was the scene in Newport the moment he got drafted. But now, another pick is in. It's time to get it back to NBA Commissioner Adam Silver and the number 16 pick.
With the 16th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the Memphis Grizzlies select Yoan Hansen from Zibo, China, and the Qingdao Eagles.
So remember, this pick is on its way to Portland. Yoan Hansen,
But he's
Chinese basketball
he going to Portland.
and ranked in the top 10 in field goal percentage. But Kirk, I just love when a young man who doesn't know whether or not he'll hear his name called in the first round, he still comes and he sits in the stands and he waits for his moment.
Look, is that Rich Paul leaving? But nah, it is about the moment.
The Dallas Mavericks had the first pick, and they got Cooper Flag.
Cooper, he knew he was the #1 pick. He said, well, what's taking so long? And unfortunately, I didn't come, and I missed this moment. I should have been there. I should have had my opportunity to walk across the stage and shake hands with Adam Silver, and that's one of the regrets that I had.
I'm so glad that Yoan Hansen
That's a moment right there.
came here not knowing whether or not he'd hear his name called necessarily in the first round. A huge jump for him. Decided to come to Barclays Center, and now he gets his moment with NBA Commissioner Adam Silver. Jonathan, what will he bring here for the Portland Trailblazers?
Malika, this is one of the first major surprises of this draft. First of all, happy birthday, Yoan Hansen. He turns 20 tomorrow. 7'2", 9'3", standing.
God damn, he is tall as hell.
Finisher with an outstanding feel for the game. Think of a Greg Monroe type big man. Yoan helped himself as much as anybody in the pre-draft process with his performance at the NBA Draft Combine. The Portland Trailblazers have targeted Yoan Hansen for the past 2 years. They traveled to China. They scrimmaged against him in the Las Vegas Summer League. They brought him in. there were some real concerns that he could be drafted and several picks later here, so they decided to...
All right, y'all, the Minnesota Wolves got the 17th pick. 4 minutes in.
This is a big surprise, huge moment for Chinese basketball. The third highest drafted Chinese players since Yoan. So, an incredible moment here in Brooklyn. It's going to be really exciting to see Hansen on the Portland Trail Blazers next season.
Yeah, you mentioned Yoan, Yijin Lan, and then now Yang Hansen. A huge moment. And like you said, Jonathan, one of the biggest risers we have seen thus far in this draft. Remember, again, it says the Memphis Grizzlies, but Yoan is on his way to the Portland Trail Blazers here as a part of this deal that sent Cedric Coward to the Memphis Grizzlies at 11th pick this evening. And then the Trailblazers receive, in addition to Yoan, the 2028 first-round pick via Orlando and then 2 future second-round picks here as well. We'll leave it up for a second. Make sure you can take a photo. Everyone's got it, understands the trade. But this is really, really interesting here, Jay, when you see a player who maybe didn't know whether or not this was going to happen tonight, and here he is.
Yeah, it's nice that he was here. But Jonathan Cavoni's point, it's a surprise.
Yeah.
He was slotted as a second-round draft pick. But it goes to show for Portland, when you target a player and that's who you want, what difference does it make? Take him when you have the opportunity to take him.
Absolutely. And now Jonathan Cavoni is saying he is going to be playing for this Portland Trailblazers roster this upcoming
Dang, that was fast. The Minnesota Timberwolves already got their pick in.
Make a run to the Western Conference Finals this year, fall short against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Here we're checking in with their draft headquarters as they deliberate and make some decisions. We heard them as a team floated even potentially for Kevin Durant. This is a group looking to be able to make a splash, once again, eclipse a Western Conference Finals run in a very, very crowded conference.
I would like to see them draft another ball handler, another big ball handler. I don't know what's out there right now, Jay. Y'all could dive into that, but I believe they need another facilitator, another point guard. Be interested to see who they take.
While the pick is in here for the Timberwolves, let's send it back to the podium once again, and NBA Commissioner Adam Silver.
It's the 17th pick.
With the 17th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves select Yoan from Strasbourg, France, and the Olympia Club in Slovenia.
Yoan Berenger, he was born in France, but he played last season in Slovenia. And as a kid, he played soccer, but he actually began playing basketball when he grew out of his cleats and he couldn't find any new ones that were big enough for his feet here. That wasn't until 2021 that he really started playing, and he actually starts every morning watching NBA highlights. Mainly, he focuses on Giannis, who he started playing in 2021. Giannis won a championship in 2021, and really his calling card is his shot blocking here. Jonathan, take us through his game.
Malika, like you said, Yoan Berenger is the best shot blocker in this draft. Think of a Mitchell Robinson or a Nick Claxton type switchable, rim protecting, rim running big man that every team in the NBA needs right now. He has incredible physical tools at over 7 feet with a 7'4" wingspan, a 9'3" standing reach, and outstanding mobility covering ground on both ends of the floor. Now, Yoan Berenger has only been playing basketball for 4 years. He doesn't turn 19 until November. Minnesota is very excited about his long-term upside. The strides that he made as this year moved on in his first professional season in Europe was really astounding. Yoan Berenger has huge upside to develop long-term.
Not to mention joining a fellow Frenchman in Rudy Gobert in Minnesota. And
all right, y'all, the Washington Wizards got the 18th pick.
We've seen in recent years. Of course, you think of Victor Wembanyama at the top here, but the NBA has long pulled talent from France. The past 2 seasons, though, it's especially been the case. 2023, of course, with Victor Wembanyama, selected by the San Antonio Spurs, and later won Rookie of the Year. Wemby wasn't the only freshman drafted that year, though. Bilal Coulibaly was picked at 7, Ryan Rupert at 43, Sidi Sissoko at 44, and in 2024, for the trend only strengthened. 4 picks in the first round coming from France. Zachary Rissochet, Alex Sarr, Tijan Salon, and then Khaman Maluach as well. And now you see 2 French players drafted this evening as well. I love the French music that we're using along with this too. The NBA draft will continue here coming up after the break. So far, we are through 17 picks. We will have the Washington Wizards on the clock at 18 when we return.
This ship collected specimens from distant planets. Monsters.
FX's Alien Earth premieres August 12th on FX, Hulu, and Hulu on Disney+.
Did they just hop from a baseball game to a show on Max without leaving DirecTV?
It's like all their apps and channels are connected.
Oh, it's all connected. Shows, movies, sports, cooking shows.
Is she talking to us?
Tell me, how does DirecTV put all your favorite stuff on one home screen? Uncanny content suggestions based on your watch history? Or mind control?
Were you recently electrocuted?
Introducing genre packs starting at $34.99.
Well, I for one am intrigued.
The history of winning started with the 65 Gators losing steam, losing sweat. The solution? A drink that hydrates better than water and change the game forever.
Naturally, we called our stuff Gatorade.
Why do dermatologists worldwide recommend La Roche-Posay? Effective skincare like La Roche-Posay Double Repair Face Moisturizer delivers double action to help repair skin's barrier and provide 48-hour hydration for healthy-looking skin. La Roche-Posay.
On August 1st, see Liam Neeson like never before.
I'm gonna ruin another suit.
They are threatening to shut down police squad if we do not solve this case.
Says you served 20 years for man's laughter.
You mean manslaughter?
Must have been quite the joke. Car, drive forward 30 feet.
Oh!
This place is falling apart.
In a Jurassic World, every Jeep vehicle is Jurassic rated. Experience open air freedom for all. Unsurpassed towing, no matter what it is. Or a third row to fit in all the adventure. Jeep, Jurassic World Rebirth.
Right now with Employee Pricing Plus, purchase and get an average of $7,900 below MSRP.
All right, y'all, we on commercial break, but right now the Washington Wizards does have the 18th pick.
I'm trying a new marketing tactic. What do you think?
That's one way to tell people about Boost Mobile's new 5G network.
I wonder who that is. Oh, and I also did this. So you like it?
You made me hate muscles.
Good reason. Made with all natural ingredients. Poke, sip, squeeze.
All right, y'all. Washington Wizards got their pick in.
And then you can see tomorrow's stars like Dylan Harper and Cooper Flag take the court for the first time at NBA 2K26 Summer League. The NBA Summer League will be July 10th through 20th on ESPN and NBA TV. You can get your tickets today at NBAevents.com. Hey, let's check in with our senior insider, Sham Sharanya, as the Washington Wizards are on the clock here. Sham, as I understand it, there's some news for us.
Yeah, this pick at number 18 is actually being traded to the Utah Jazz, or the Utah Jazz.
Oh, the 18th pick being traded to the Utah Jazz.
Someone that can help them. They're identifying Walter Clayton Jr. out of Florida at this pick potentially, but that process is still going on. But this number 18th overall pick is going to the Utah Jazz.
Okay, the Washington Wizards pick here is headed to the Utah Jazz. Jay, Sean's talking about circling potentially Walter Clayton Jr. here.
National champion. And coming out of high school, he was a covetous football player, the free safety. He was recruited by Florida as a football player before they ever thought of him as a basketball player. Wound up going to Iona and playing for Rick Pitino. He's back player of the year, and after 2 years there, going to the NCAA tournament, transferred to Florida, played his last 2 years there, and averaged well over 18 points a game his 2 seasons there, and obviously won a national championship under Todd Wolf last year.
39% from 3, 39% off the catch and off the dribble, 60% at the rim, and he's got a clutch gene that can't be taught. 35 points in the NCAA tournament in clutch time. That led all players. He made some big-time plays down the stretch with that Florida team on their road to the national championship.
Yeah, I feel like he really rose in the past couple of months since the NCAA tournament. You mentioned the football prowess, Jay. We have some footage.
Well, just a great athlete, obviously, to be that proficient in 2 sports. He just wasn't heavily recruited. There he is as a free safety, and that's where he was heavily recruited by big-time college football programs. He just wasn't able to get where he wanted initially coming out of high school in basketball. And that's why he went to Iona. I think playing for Rick Pitino really benefited.
And that explains his mindset and what we witnessed in the tournament. And that's why he was crowned champion on the biggest stage. Because when you look at a lot of great basketball players, they all pretty much played football at some point of their life.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. Football just, I did. Tight end did, and we'll talk about that later. But playing football put a different type of killer mentality to you that you just, you can't overlook.
Yeah, he wasn't the only gainer to play football. Elijah Martin was an excellent football player in high school as well.
And heading again to the Utah Jazz, I think if he is the selection, you think about a Jazz team that went 8-25 in clutch time this season, the worst record in the NBA. Someone with that kind of prowess down the stretch would really help.
He rises to the occasion in big moments. Football also makes sense because he plays with great pace, change of speed, but he's also very physical. He's not afraid to get into the bodies of defenders when he has the ball in his hands, but also when he's making cuts.
Pick is in.
We have another trade to announce. As part of a deal to be finalized later, the Portland Trail Blazers are trading to the Memphis Grizzlies the draft rights to Cedric Coward, the 11th pick, and the Grizzlies are trading to the Trail Blazers the draft rights to Yoan Hansen, the 16th pick. And with the 18th pick in the 2025 NBA draft, the Washington Wizards select Walter Clayton Jr. from the University of Florida.
Against the Colin, we get to see it in real time.
Absolutely. Emotions building up. You can tell he's been waiting to get his name called. All of a sudden you get a golden opportunity to go to Washington. And that young man is going to perform. He's going to get those minutes. They just traded Jordan Poole. He's going to go in there. He's going to be who he is. And a guy that's going to produce at a high level. NBA ready right now.
This is the confusing part about the hats. Remember, Sean reported this being rerouted here, heading to Utah. So the Final Four most outstanding player and his daughter, Leilani, he got buckets in the NCAA tournament. Everybody took notice on Maria. And to say he averaged 22 points in the big dance doesn't do his performance justice. He put up 30 in the Elite 8 against Texas Tech, 34 in the national semifinal against Auburn. Incredible score.
Washington, Utah, it doesn't matter. He's ready to play on whatever team that he is going to, and he's efficient in every situation with the ball in his hands. Pick and roll ball handler, spot up, off screens, ISO. He's also very dangerous in transition. He hunts shots in transition, which also opens up opportunities for his teammates in early offense.
And Malika, to your point on the NCAA tournament, he had 3 30-point games in the tournament on the way to the national championship. He had 35 clutch points in one tournament. He set the single season record for scoring in the Florida program. And they've had some great pros, especially under Billy Donovan, now under Todd Bowles. But with Walter Clayton Jr., you're talking about an elite shot maker. A guy that can score on all three levels. He's got speed. He's not big, but he's got speed. He's got strength. And he's got a lot of pop into that shot. Andre, when you mentioned in transition, he can come down and he steps right into a three-point shot. Or he can use his shiftiness to get around and get to the basket, where he's a pretty creative finisher around the bucket. I think he needs to become, he improved as a defender.
Brooklyn
so far excited by what they are seeing tonight. You can see their draft headquarters here at their
Man, I bet that parade was crunk.
Here sitting, congratulating each other. And again, 5 first-round picks and planning to hang on to them at least so far.
And they should be excited about Traore's 6'8" wingspan. He's got a low dribble. You heard Gaboni talking about his passing, but he also led his French team in blocks per game. So there's a defensive aspect to his game that he's also bringing to Brooklyn.
So the Brooklyn Nets make their second pick of the evening, and now it's the Miami Heat that are on the clock. Remember, Miami went 37-45 this season. They struggled a bit after the Jimmy Butler trade. They got swept in the first round after making it out of the play-in tournament. You can see here again just a reminder of the Jimmy Butler trade that sent Jimmy to the Golden State Warriors after months of sort of a back and forth over whether or not Jimmy Butler wanted to stay in Miami or would he be his most productive there. He said he needed to find his basketball joy, and it didn't lie in Miami anymore. But after not trading for Kevin Durant, which was sort of floated as maybe a potential for Miami, how should they approach not only this pick, but also this summer?
Well, I mean, it's hard because you look at the past couple summers and they didn't pursue Damian Lillard, right? They passed on Drew Holiday when he became available. And then now you look at Kevin Durant, they don't get that done. You move on to Jimmy Butler, and it's like, yeah, you're a team who respect your culture and you're talking about your rings, but you're not making it about rings to us. Because if you were, you would be making moves.
Jay, do you see them needing to go and get a big star here in order to be able to really compete in an Eastern Conference that we saw the defending Eastern champs are now going to be significantly hampered?
Yeah, but they also continue to draft toughness. And they've done that in the past. It's served them really well. I mean, the best available player, I think, is Nathan Newell of Georgia. But you can see him going with, like, one of the players that I think is really interesting is Casperis Yakuchis of Illinois, because of his ability to operate the pick and roll and how the vision he has as a passer. But another guy I would look at is Rasheer Fleming of St. Joseph. You know, another 3-and-D guy with incredible length and athleticism, can knock down a perimeter shot. Like, we're seeing 3-and-D guys have tremendous value. 2 of them that we talked about.
All right, y'all. Miami Heat got their pick in. Miami Heat got the 20th pick.
But we know that they have an entire summer ahead of them. For more on their plans, I want to bring in our senior insider, Shams Charania. Shams, what more can you tell us about what Miami is looking toward this offseason, and even starting with tonight?
After missing out on Kevin Durant, the Miami Heat are remaining active. And when you look into free agency, one name to keep an eye on that I'm told they are expected to be a potential suitor for is Warriors restricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga. And the Warriors are comfortable potentially bringing Kuminga back in free agency, but they also are keeping an open mind as far as working through potential sign and trade possibilities. So Jonathan Kuminga, a couple other targets potentially for the Heat, whether it's in free agency or trade here over the next week or 2.
Interesting. All right. We'll certainly be keeping an eye on that. Kuminga, potentially a name to watch. Bert, what do you think of that?
You know how I feel about Kuminga. I mean, I feel like he's a guy that has a really high ceiling, all-star level ceiling when getting the opportunity. But again, he doesn't move the needle right now for me, for as a guy that you could bring in that's going to help elevate you to a championship level. Right? And so when I look at the Miami Heat, again, we're talking about a team who is built on rings, right? They talk about rings, you know, it's really championship or bust. There's no in between for them. And so I just don't see that guy move. I don't see Kuminga moving the needle for them right now.
Well, Jonathan Gaboni right now is reporting that Miami is keeping this pick, so we'll see who they select. Their pick is in. It's time to get it back to the podium. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, take it away.
With the 20th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the Miami Heat select Casperis Yakuchis from Vilnius, Lithuania, and the University of Illinois.
Casperis Yakuchis, nicknamed KJ. You got that one?
I wasn't really trying. I was going to go over this stuff.
Well, he was born in Lithuania, and he started playing basketball when he was 3 years old. He moved to Spain when he was 16, and he played for FC Barcelona from 2022 to 2024. And he says his proudest basketball achievement was winning the gold medal with Lithuania at the FIBA U16 European Championship. But I would imagine, Jay, that this moment it has to be right up there.
Absolutely. Another Lithuanian lottery pick. The last one, Jonas Valanciunas, who went 5th overall in 2011. And this guy has a ton of skill. Another guard that with positional size that's really good in pick and roll situations. Very skilled, excellent footwork. Pressure tended to bother him a little bit, especially toward the end of the season. He didn't have some of his better games in the last 10, 14 games. But such a good passer. The only problem, he had a lot of turnovers. He had 123 turnovers. That was the 5th most in Division I. But you put him in a pick and roll situation, his vision is really impressive. He plays with pace. He can decelerate. I think he's a much better shooter than his numbers indicated over the last part of the season. He wound up shooting 32% from 3 overall, but he struggled over the last portion of the season and wasn't throwing shots like he did earlier. But his coach, Brad Underwood, feels he's going to be a better NBA player than he was a college player. You saw the pass there between the legs. He's got a really good feel for the game and a really good feel for reading situations.
Malika, I had Casperis Yakuchis as the 11th rated player on my big board.
All right, Utah Jazz got the 21 pick. 4 minutes in.
Where he ended up because the Miami Heat need a ball handler and playmaker in his mode in the worst possible way. Casperis Yakuchis is the best pick and roll playmaker in this draft. Think of a cross between Austin Reeves and Andrew Nembhard. Great size for a guard. Can play 1, 2, and 3. Shot maker, brings real toughness. He's a competitor. This is going to be a great pick for Miami, who don't traditionally draft international players. So I'm excited to see how he pairs with Tyler Hero, with Nikola Jokic, another international player. This is an awesome pick for the Miami Heat.
And Gavoni, there were 2 freshmen this season that averaged 15 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. Casperis Yakuchis and Cooper Flag. He's in good company with a ton of potential as an NBA player.
Absolutely. Led Illinois in points per game and assists per game here. The 2025 NBA draft continues, and so is the fashion.
I've been trimming all week. 7 days out of top week. Cheap. I ain't worried about sleeps. Made 100 more with the songs got leaked. Don't sweat this technique. Never sweat this technique. Don't sweat this technique. Never sweat this technique. Don't sweat this technique. Never sweat this technique. Got a sound right before.
Seeking. The unsatisfied. Emotional. Defiant. Those who take things personally. Seeking exceptional people to do exceptional things. To find a treatment where there isn't one. Seeking those who will be hard on the problem to make it easier on the people. Seeking those who refuse to accept medicine as it is, so they put themselves in a position to change it.
For years, everyone thought Verizon had the best network because they did. But now the best mobile network.
All right, my apologies, guys. I got to go pick my son up from work. He get off at 10 o'clock, and it's a pretty ways drive for me to go get him. But right now, we are at the 21 pick. The Utah Jazz has the 21st pick, and they do have their pick selected. I'm trying to wait for all these damn commercial breaks to go past so I can show y'all who the Utah Jazz selected at least before I have to end this live. I'm sorry, G. My bad, man. As much as I don't want to, as much I want to do this for y'all, man. I gotta go pick my son up from work, or otherwise he'll be blowing my damn phone up, asking where the hell I'm at. But I'm hoping at least before I leave, I can show y'all who the Utah Jazz selected. But like I said, for those who haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm paying for the service. I'm trying not to get reported and all this good stuff. So that's the least you can do for a brother. Please subscribe to a brother YouTube channel. If y'all really enjoy watching the draft and I'm able to live stream it for y'all without me getting busted and reported to the feds and all this good stuff that people have been threatening to do. So I figured the way that I'm doing it now is the best way that I can live stream it without having to be reported, and it seems to have worked. So sorry y'all, here we go. I'm gonna show y'all this last pick before I go.
It's the Utah Jazz on the clock with the 21st overall pick. As we check in with our front office insider, Bobby Marks. Bobby, so far you're seeing Utah as the winners of this draft. Why?
I do. 19 picks in, and I like what Utah did at Ace Bailey at number 5. Didn't want to come in and work out too bad. We're going to take the best available player. Walter Clayton at their second pick here, the ultra-competitive shot maker from Florida, a winner and national champion. I love what Utah's done so far.
Let's give you something to keep on loving from Utah because their pick is in. Let's send it back to the podium and NBA Commissioner Adam Silver for the 21st.
All right, y'all, here we go.
With the 21st pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the Utah Jazz select Will Riley from Kitchener, Canada.
Utah Jazz got Will Riley.
And so Illinois players go back to back.
All right, y'all.
First pair of Illinois first-round picks since Darren Williams and Luther Head in 2005. You can see him enjoying this moment with his family. His older sister, she has 3 of them, Brittany, Justine, and Ashley. And he credits his mom, Tracy, for really influencing his career. She was a hockey player, and Will says that she gave him the competitive elite track and field coach. It's a really special moment.
All right, y'all. I hope y'all enjoy the live stream of the draft. But I'm gonna have to conclude it. I gotta go pick my son up from work. Like I say, I appreciate y'all for tuning in, watching it with me. And I appreciate y'all, for bearing with me, with all the assholes who've been threatening to, report my page and all that bullshit. I don't really care, but, I do it for y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm finna go ahead and head on now, pick my son up from work. But if you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you all enjoyed the content of the NBA Draft of 2025. All right, y'all be easy. Y'all be safe. Y'all be cool. I'll holler at y'all.